Good morning, news directors. Scott Kimbler here, WNGA. Wanting to tell you a couple of things we're doing over here in Helen. First off, probably the most important thing is that this is my office. It's really big and it has a sound console, and it's really a production room that I'm using for an office, and that's just fine because I have everything in here I need. Now, most of you in the company are using mini disc, from what I understand, for sound. I'm using compact disc because they don't make mini disc anymore, and we couldn't get one over here to take care of this. So I've been using an awful lot of CDs over here since I first came over here from Clayton. So we thought about that, and we looked at upgrading and what we can do in the future to possibly move away from mini discs, since the units that you have they're not replaceable because they just don't make them anymore. So this is what we've come up with. Helen is being a test market for this to see what Art and Terry think, and Art wanted me to give you a demonstration for the meeting, but I couldn't think of how to bring everything that I do here over to the main office to show you guys how to do this. So I figured, okay, I'll just go through some of the basic steps for videotape for you. So I'm going to go quickly through this, and I promise I will make a more detailed video later. I'll just use a widescreen lens so we can just have the monitor in the screen. Everything will be nice, but for now I'm just flying through this because I have more to do and then I have to get out of here. But here it is. Here is Wireready 32. Now, it's made by a company called Wireready. The product, this program, is actually called Newsready 32. I've never met anybody that calls it Newsready. Everybody calls it Wireready, even though the program is Newsready. Go figure. But that's just how it is. And this is it. Now, this is a blank screen. This is called the notepad. This is where everything begins. Now, what begins here, of course, is you can type. And this is what you would use as a word processor. It's also a sound integrator, and I'll get to more about how you bring the sound to this page from the beginning in a later video. But what we're going to do now is we're going to look at sound that I've already done, and here it is. Here's all the sound that I've done in just the past couple of days. Since the 15th I've added sound to this. So you take sound. Here's a sound bite. This is from Anna Newberry. It's 10 seconds long, and it embeds it right there into the notepad. Okay, so let's take that away for a second, and just remember how I did that. I went to Wave, and I double-clicked on it, and there it was. It's part of what I wanted to do. I can also play it from this window, which we will in just a moment. But first, let's look at some of the ones that I've actually already done. Now, here is a story called Monument. This is about some children. They're not really children. They're about 11, 12 years old, that want to build a monument in White County to public safety people right outside of our courthouse. Now, this is my file log. This contains all stories that I have written. Now, here's the one today, Monument. Okay, inside Monument, I have two stories, two versions of one story. Now, you see here I have Monument, today's date, kill noon Thursday. I don't want to use this past my noon report tomorrow, so that reminds me when I want it to die, as far as the story goes, of course. So here it is. I have a 3-paragraph story, the first paragraph leading in, then my sound bite, and then my 2 paragraphs leading out. So pretty standard build-up for most stories that I do. And here, now watch this. This is just cool. You have the cursor above the sound clip. You hit F3.
We'll come up with an architectural design and present it to the Board of Commissioners.
You hear that? That's this program playing that sound, and you can see it down here in the bottom of the screen.
Heroes that lost their lives on September 11th.
Okay, I can also stop it, but I'll show you that in another video. But isn't that neat? You just start it. You just read up to it. 4 youth members, and you read up to the sound clip, and there it is. Awesome, huh? And then you scroll down. Look at here. I have 2 sound bites in this part of the story. And so I have 1 lead-in sentence, 1 sound bite, another lead-in sentence coming out and leading into my second sound bite, F3. There it is. So I have 1 version with 2 sound bites. Now, what this has allowed me to do because it's so easy to insert them, is I have more sound. My average is about 8 sound bites per day, and today I had 11. I also had 2 more stories planned that I didn't get a chance to do because I had some other things come up. But out of the stories I did, I had 11 sound bites, and it's because they're so easy to put together. Now, the primary function of all of this, and this is what I talked to Art and Tug about, is that you do newscast, you do your writing, and you do your newscast out of the very same program. Okay, so let's go back to our notepad here. Now, notice it's blank. Okay, so here's how easy it is to do a story. I want to write a story about a fire that I did today. Or the fire, I didn't do the fire just happened by itself. But there's Anna Newberry. Okay, I want her sound in this story. So I want to get wise with myself, and I want to put 2 bits of sound in this story. So what other sound bite do I want? Good question, huh? Okay, I want that one. These are the 2 sound bites I want for this story. Now, to be sure, okay, here's my first one.
And there were no injuries, so that's one thing we're thankful for.
Great, we're thankful for no injuries.
I highly recommend that if you've got a fire going with...
Highly recommend fire safety. Now, what happened today is this is building, and my typing is going to be bad because I am in kind of a hurry, building fire, and today's date, 10/28/09, kill noon, tomorrow's Thursday. Alright, what happened today is around noon today in Cleveland, a 1,400 square foot, and please forgive my typing, square foot outbuilding, daggone, burned. White County Fire Department spokeswoman Anna Newberry says, what does she say? I forgot.
And there were no injuries, so that's one thing we're thankful for.
Okay, it says the building was a total loss, but everyone, let's see, it was a total loss. How do I want to fit that?
And there were no injuries, so that's one thing we're thankful for.
But the building was, or had, no one in it. Okay, so around noon today in Cleveland, a 1,400 square foot outbuilding burned. White County Fire Department spokeswoman Anna Newberry says the building was a total loss, but the building had no one in it.
And there were no injuries, so that's one thing we're thankful for.
Yeah, we're thankful for that. Now, she says the fire was started by a wood burning stove that was unattended.
I highly recommend that if you've got a fire going, whether it be your space heater, whether it be your chimney, or a wood heater, never leave it unattended because you can't take the chance.
The fire has been ruled accidental. Now, I had a more detailed story that I'm going to use in the newscast, but this is basically how it works. I'm able to listen to my sound, and I'm able to organize my sound. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not do that. That's a lesson for another day. That's splitting the screen. And what have I done here? Okay, notepad. All right. I'm sorry about that. That brought up my file log, which is not what I wanted to do. Here, we're back to the story. So whatever button I hit, I'll try not to hit again. So here's my story. Around noon today, 1,400 square foot building burned. then I have my sound clip, then I have another line, then another sound clip, then an outline, and the story's done. But look at that, it's a tight little story, has 2 clips.